Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and we have some great news to go over. I think it was a formality that this was ultimately going to be happening. You know, whenever we saw the initial trailer for Final Fantasy 16, the thought was it's going to be a timed PS5 exclusive, and then ultimately it will be coming to PC. But a lot of news with Final Fantasy 16 as 2 paid DLCs have been announced, and a PC version is in development. The full message notes this. Hello everyone, this is Naoki Yoshida, producer for Final Fantasy 16. It's been just over 2 months since the game's release, and we've received an enormous amount of feedback from players around the world. The development team and I have been also watching your streams, videos, and paying attention to what everybody thinks of Final Fantasy 16. We put our all into creating this game, so it's a real joy to see so many different reactions. And so, as an expression of our sincerest gratitude, we are releasing a free update that's available now. That's the PS5 version, of course. They go on about some of the updates with this free update again on PlayStation 5. Finally, it continues. While Final Fantasy 16 was released as a PlayStation 5 exclusive, we are aware that many of you have been asking for a PC version, so allow me to take this opportunity to officially announce the development on a PC version is currently underway. I hope to be able to give you more information on both the upcoming downloadable content and the PC version before the end of the year. It was also noted, but one thing that came through particularly strongly was how people wanted to see more of Alistia's story and spend more time with her inhabitants. To accommodate, the development team has started work on 2 installments of paid downloadable content. How about that? Will be interesting to see how the PC version is handled. Obviously, with Final Fantasy 15, it came out back in the fall of 2016 on consoles, and then they released the Royal Edition, and then that version of the game came to PC. You know, the version with all the DLC. Not all of the DLC. There was the episode Arden that wasn't a part of the Royal Edition. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think they're gonna do Final Fantasy 16 as a PC release standalone, charge $60 or $70 for it, and then release the DLC as paid DLC content. Like, guys, in the current climate of gaming, this is what I've noticed that these developers and publishers try to do. I'm sure Yoshida, that's not like his decision making and the higher ups at Square Enix. I don't know the chain of command as far as that's concerned, but it's generally speaking to get the most amount of money from the super fans as possible. And, you know, that means higher priced games. That means if you can get away with charging for DLC content multiple times, you do that. Like, I'm gonna be real, I don't even think, like, Horizon Forbidden West, when that comes to PC, I don't think it's gonna include the Burning Shore expansion. Like, that might just be me being absolutely insane, and hopefully I'm wrong about that, or, like, at the very least, if, you know, they're gonna charge $70 for Forbidden West, you know, throw on the Burning Shore expansion at that point, but it'll be a premier cost. With FF16, I think the demand is there, and I'm not advocating for this, I'm just looking at it from the lens of the publishers, and, you know, just my cynical self. You guys know me, I'm cynical as all hell when it comes to this kind of stuff. I think they're gonna charge $60 for Final Fantasy 16. I think 70 would just be pushing it too much. Like, come on, bro. A delayed release of a game for $70. Like, you could do $70 if it includes the 2 paid DLCs, but what I think is going to happen is I think the PC version of FF16 I think will be out by early to mid 2024. I don't think it's going to be like a late 2024 or early 2025 game. Mid 2024 is probably the latest I could see it going out, coming out. And what I foresee happening is that the 2 paid DLCs, one of them will be out before the PC version, the other will come out after the PC version, and I would think that Square Enix would be like, alright, yo, you got FF16 now, 3 months later, you get the first paid DLC, 3 months later after that, you get the second paid DLC on PC. That's my prediction. Square Enix gonna Square Enix, but Final Fantasy 16 is one of those games that I do think they could get, from their lens. They're thinking, hey, this is a top tier game, we can, charge a premier price for it, and people will pay for it. And FF16 is a game that I love. Square Enix was nice enough to hook me up with a copy of the game, and I loved it on PlayStation 5. But that game did have its technical limitations on PS5. Let us not mince words there. The performance mode, which, it's a fast-paced action RPG. Like, I want to play this game at 60 FPS, and it can maintain a steady frame rate, but at the same time, the resolution definitely dips, and there's time where the frame rate dips as well. So hopefully with the PC release, it comes completely unshackled. The FF15 PC version did have some issues at launch. Forspoken's another game that had some issues at launch, but I got a lot of faith in Naoki Yoshida. I think the team is gonna take their time, and I've liked what he's done. I know some people were super mixed on FF16 as well. I get it that this was not a game that everybody loved. A lot of people thought it was bare bones simplistic and really when you look at the character customization, it was fairly simplistic, but I love the combat system. I love chaining the different elemental abilities, and I just thought as an action game, it was really, really well done. I understand that if you're a big fan of the old school Final Fantasy games, that this might be a departure from that, but this is also a game that I thought did a fantastic job of winning over the non-Final Fantasy fans. Like, I had a buddy play this game that had no care for Final Fantasy ever in his life, and he just consistently saw the promotion for Final Fantasy 16 on PlayStation 5. Ended up buying it because I would consistently rave about it, and he loved the game. Large in part because I think for a more casual audience, those, like, big scale boss fights, like, those are pretty insane. Like, Final Fantasy 16, as far as boss fights go, some of the most insane and best boss fights that I've ever seen in a video game. Just some of the boss fights are absolutely insane, and I don't want to get into the spoilers and whatnot, and some of the moments in the game. Soundtrack's obviously great. I think it'll do fairly well on PC as long as it's a good PC version, and I do hope that's the case, but hopefully this also means that for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, it'll have a quick turnaround. Now, the difference with Remake Part 1 is that there was that Epic Game Store exclusivity tied into it as well. I don't think that'll be an issue going forward. In fact, I actually believe that Square Enix is not even releasing all of their games on the Epic Game Store anyway. That's something that a lot of people, like, obviously we're not privy to this information on what their relationship is, but if you look up, like, Square Enix titles on Epic Game Store, Octopath Traveler 2 is not on the Epic Game Store, while Octopath Traveler 1 is, which is just so strange to me. Forspoken, to be fair, is on the Epic Game Store, but there was none of that timed exclusivity stuff going on with any of those games. Crisis Core, I don't believe, is even on Epic Game Store, which is so strange to me given that they had the timed exclusivity for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Hopefully that means, you know, Square Enix is just like, alright, we got our exclusivity money from Sony, we ran them dry, we don't need to go through the exclusivity wagon again, because that's honestly what I thought they were gonna do. I thought they were gonna get the fat check from Sony, get the fat check from the Epic Game Store, and then ultimately release the game on Steam on their own time, and then sell a bunch of copies there as well. So, hopefully that doesn't happen, but super excited for FF16 coming to PC, a game that I will certainly play again, and I know a lot of people were also a little bit mixed on the story, especially the latter portion of it, and that seems to be the case with a lot of JRPGs. Like, the latter portion of some of these narratives just completely fall off the wagon. I liked FF16, the story the whole way through. I definitely understand why some people had reservations on some certain elements of it, but that's my 2 cents. Let me know all of your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.